All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're off to another exciting episode of Shipwrecked with
Princess Morgan
and Pirate Stew. All right, so episode that we just had was games, right? Mm-hmm. And so I thought about another game that's kind of fun to play, and I do this on Facebook sometimes, is I'll invite people to play the Dinner for Four game. So that's where you are one of the people, right? And you get to invite 3 other people to dinner, and they can be living or dead. They can even be fictional if you wanted to. Like we talked about, Sherlock Holmes isn't a real person, a fictional person, but if you wanted to have Sherlock Holmes as one of your people, I guess you could do that. Because it's just an imaginary game. You can do whatever you want, right?
Yeah.
So if we were going to play Dinner for Four, you get to invite 3 people, living or dead. Who would be the 3 people you invite? And I know who at least one of them is going to be. Probably 2 of them. I probably can guess 2 of them. So can I guess 2 of them?
Yes.
So Queen Elizabeth and Smokey the Bear.
Oh, I wouldn't have said Smokey the Bear, but I like Smokey the Bear.
Well, because what other bear? Yeah, I figured there'd be a bear in there somewhere. Right? Okay, so who would they be?
Queen Elizabeth would have a lot to say.
Yeah.
But what about Queen Victoria?
You could invite both if you wanted to. You still got one more. You can invite 3 queens. You could invite Queen Elizabeth, Queen Victoria, and Freddie Mercury.
That would be a pretty interesting dinner. Ooh. How about Tsar Nicholas II, Queen Victoria, and Tom Cruise?
Oh, okay. Because I think it was the last episode you talked about Tom Cruise was your pass.
My sweetie. Right? I also like Kevin Costner.
So, yeah.
Can it be Dinner for 5?
No, not this game. You can make up your own game.
Okay, so who would your people be?
My people vary all the time. It kind of depends on what mood I am and what's going on in the world. So, so my people vary all the time. Like if I sometimes I might invite musicians, right? Sometimes it might be politicians. Sometimes it might be scientists. It just depends on what my mood is. But they're usually people that are diametrically opposed that I would invite.
Okay, so give me an example.
So like if we picked musicians, right? So I might invite Willie Nelson.
Oh, that'd be good.
And then I might invite Eric Clapton, or not. Let's go with Jimi Hendrix. So Willie Nelson, Jimi Hendrix, and maybe Alison Krauss. Right. So I got country. Right. I got country, and then I got rock, and then I got bluegrass.
Yes.
So I my dinner parties tend to be like that, where it's I would like to see how these people with differing viewpoints would interact.
Right.
So
what do you think the subject would be? What do you think you guys would talk about?
Probably for a lot of them, it'd be how am I back being alive? And who the heck are you? Right? I mean, because, they would recognize Willie Nelson, right? They know, unless it was somebody from history, right? They would know each other. But they wouldn't know, they have no clue who I was. And how, if they were from history, how I resurrected them from the dead. So probably a lot of what we would talk about would be that. So another interesting group would be, you invite Jesus and the Buddha and Muhammad, right? That would be a fun dinner.
That would be.
Some people might not think that all 3 of those are real people even, but
I think that would be a pretty interesting conversation.
It would be kind of cool.
And to be in on that would be pretty interesting.
Yeah.
That would be cool. It'd be kind of interesting to bring, like, our founding fathers back and have Nancy Pelosi and Donald Trump there. Can you imagine?
I wasn't going to go with the political thing, but since you did, yes, that would be interesting. You could also invite like a caveman, right?
Oh yeah.
And like a magician. Right? And I don't even know who the other person
that
could
would be funny.
But that could be kind of interesting too. See, the thing is, do you only get to do this once, or do you get to do it every night? If you get to do it every night, it's kind of a fun exercise. It's like, who are the 3 people I'd like to invite for dinner tonight? Which again, you could do every night because, again, it's just imagination, right? And I don't think adults do enough imagination sort of things.
Ooh, what about Jackie Kennedy, Marilyn Monroe, and JFK?
Ooh, see, there you're starting to try to start some trouble now, right?
That'd be pretty good.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a fun game to play. Doesn't cost you anything. And like I said, I love to do it on Facebook to see what everybody's choices are. And you can always tell people, like, you always get that one person out there that's always got a political agenda. And so they always try to pick people that try to make their viewpoint known. But most people that play it will just have fun with it.
Oh, yeah.
And not try to send messages. But, yeah, I think it's a fun game.
On The Big Bang Theory, do you watch that?
I haven't watched it the last couple of years, so I'm a couple years episodes behind.
They weren't playing, but they talked about it in this episode where Penny and Sheldon had to answer these questions to see if they fell in love with each other. And one of the questions, Penny and Sheldon. It was
okay.
Yeah, you'd have to watch the whole episode, but there was an experiment. They said that if you answer these intimate questions and then stare into each other's eyes, you would fall in love. And they were trying to prove that couldn't happen.
Right.
But one of the questions was if you could have one dinner guest, who would it be? And Sheldon picked himself.
Oh.
He said it would be the most interesting conversation he could have.
Well, that sounds like Sheldon.
So, yeah. So who do you think you could pick to have the most interesting, one person to have the most interesting dinner conversation?
Oh, so just dinner for 2.
Dinner for 2.
I haven't ever played dinner for 2. Now, do I get to play it multiple times? Because if I can play it every night, then I would just work through a whole
one time here.
Just only one time.
And it's all about the dinner conversation.
So if I had to pick just one person... Mm-hmm. And I could only do it once. I guess I would probably pick... I might pick somebody like Douglas Adams. He wrote the 4-book trilogy of, So Long, Thanks for All the Fish, and what was his first...
I've never heard of any of that. No.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Okay, I have heard of that one.
So that was the first book. So Long for All the Fish, and Restaurant at the End of the Galaxy, and I can't remember what the other one was. But anyway, so I might do something like that. Because obviously, he write those books. He was. Or who I would probably. The longer I think, the more I'm going to change my mind. I think I would go with Gene Roddenberry because I'd want to know if he actually went into the future and saw all the crap he invented on Star Trek, like flip phones, right? And some of those sort of stuff. Because everything they've ever had, this is another episode, everything they've ever had on Star Trek has come true, and we either have it now or we invented rudimentary versions of it.
No, we can't beam people anywhere.
We can scan things and recreate them at a distance. We can do that. A fax machine essentially is a rudimentary transporter.
That is not the same as Star Trek.
It is the same fundamental principle. You electronically scan something. See, that's why I said it's another episode. It's a whole nother episode. We can go on and on about this forever.
It did not beam people up.
I'm writing it down. We're going to talk about that in another episode.
Well, we can talk about it because you are crazy.
I will prove to you everything that's ever happened in Star Trek is real. At any rate, so back to the dinner for two.
Okay.
So I'm going to pick Gene Roddenberry.
Okay.
We'll go with that.
Yeah, I'm going to invite myself to that because I want to hear you saying, "Oh, everything you create."
Oh, so now I got to do dinner for three because I got to have you there.
Yeah, because I'm going to be
but
like,
who's your dinner?
Crazy.
Who's your dinner for two person going to be?
If it's solely about conversation.
Are you going to invite yourself like Sheldon did?
No, no. If it's only one person,
you're the one that made it dinner for two instead of dinner for four. And now it's like you're balking at the rules. You made them up.
Yeah, that's how I roll. Kate Spade. I would like to talk to Kate Spade.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So here's the other thing I get from people all the
Wait,
time.
I'm changing. Maybe. Robin Williams.
Yeah. Okay.
So, I don't know why people...
It'd be entertaining dinner.
It would be entertaining. No, Kate Spade. Kate Spade.
So here's the other thing that I get all the time. The people that like to shoot it down and go, oh, yeah, well, you just invited, three dead people. They're not going to have a lot to say, and they're going to stink up the place because they're dead. No imagination whatsoever.
That's right.
And those people exist. They just don't want to play. Don't want to play the game at all.
Yeah.
Too serious.
I have a lot of imagination. I would really like to have dinner with Kate Spade.
Why? What did she do besides invent purses?
She ran mega businesses, and I want to know why she committed suicide. But I guess it would be interesting for me to talk to somebody who seemed to have it all and why she felt she didn't. And how she ran her businesses and her concept of purses because they're really cute. I got a lot. I have a lot. And then
a lot
she
of
was
issues
a mother.
You need to iron out with her.
She hurt me.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to cut and edit the video here where I remind you, don't bang on the table because it comes through really loud on the microphone.
I don't know why. I've been doing a lot.
No, you just started.
Well, no, earlier in the night, but I wasn't banging as loud, maybe.
Okay, maybe not enough for me to notice. Anyway, all right, so back to the dinner for two.
Yes. So Kate Spade hurt me.
Kate Spade.
Okay, so go ahead.
So, I mean, well, again, you could do the same thing with like Anthony Bourdain or anybody. Robin Williams, you mentioned earlier, a lot of those people, it seemed like they had everything going for them and then they just checked out.
Yeah, it's sad.
So, I'm also a big Doctor Who fan. There is an episode of Doctor Who where people are committing suicide like crazy. And the reason that they're doing it is because they read this one, that they get told this one secret. And as soon as they get told the secret, they kill themselves. All right? Do you know what the secret is? You probably don't want me to tell you because then you're afraid you'll kill yourself, right?
I don't know if I want to know.
So in that particular episode, they are told that they are just part of a computer program, and to prove it, they can name any sequence of random numbers that they can think of, okay? And the person that is doing it will always be able to tell them what their random sequence was, right? They'll have it written down on a piece of paper or something, which proves the fact that they're just running a computer program. They're not really real, and the fact that they can't randomly produce numbers is proof of that. And then as soon as they realize that that's true, they just kill themselves because they don't want to be part of the computer program because they're not really real anyway. It's kind of an interesting episode.
Yeah.
Or not. I don't know.
So what was the deal with the little I probably watched Doctor Who.
If you're not a Doctor Who fan, I may have to unfriend you and kick you out of the studio here.
I'm a princess. Don't know much about Doctor Who. But what was the deal with the phone booth looking thing?
So that was a TARDIS. That's a whole nother episode talking about Doctor Who, but it's a TARDIS. It's a time and relative dimensions and space machine. That's what TARDIS stands for.
Oh, okay, you might want to write down time travel TARDIS thing.
Time travel. Yeah, what would we do with a time machine, right?
And do we believe that it exists?
I like that. Coming up episode coming to you real soon about time machines, time travel.
Right.
So yeah, that was it was his spaceship. It was the spaceship. No matter where it went, it was always supposed to blend in. So if he went to Roman times, it was supposed to look like a Roman column. If he went to England, it was supposed to look like a police box. If he went to Sherwood Forest, it should have looked like a tree or a bush. But it was broke. The mechanism that was supposed to make it blend in was broke, and so it was stuck as a police box.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Now you know.
Interesting.
What the heck were we talking about for this episode?
Dinner. Dinner.
Oh,
for
dinner.
Four.
Yeah, dinner for four or dinner for two. Well, dinner for one. That's easy. You got to pick yourself, right?
Not necessarily. You can invite yourself.
So again, pick your 3 people that you would like to invite. Write them down in the comments as far as who you would pick for dinner for 4. And so everybody can kind of see those and marvel at your choices. Or more likely on the internet, make fun of you and call you names. Because that's what trolls do.
That is what they do. Yeah. And they do it pretty well.
Yeah. So, and somebody, I guarantee you, somebody is going to write in the comments that they would have dinner with Khaleesi and Hodor and people from Game of Thrones.
Oh, okay.
Which we did an episode and discovered you don't watch.
Oh, I would really like to have dinner with all of the Friends people.
Ah.
Like, I would have loved to have been friends with Friends.
But how many weren't there 4 of those or 5 or 6 or something? 6.
3 girls, 3 boys.
Yeah, you have to start a new game.
So dinner with 7.
Dinner with 7, yeah. You can do it. Again, it's just imagination. Didn't cost you anything.
But that would be really fun. So if I could be part of a TV show, which could be different.
Well, that's a whole nother episode there. Which TV show would you like to be in and which character would it be?
Ooh, we'll write that down.
So like you could be Happy Days, you could be the Fonz or something, right?
I think I would rather have been Joni.
Joni. Well, that makes sense.
So, I guess we better go.
Bye.
Bye. Why can't I wave with my other hand? The phone is going crazy.